Give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, in the name of his Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kwadash. And those are the Paleo-Hebrew names for Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, the Son, and Ruach Kwadash, the Holy Spirit. This is Sagala coming back with another lesson. I was just watching some shorts here on YouTube, and I ran across a couple shorts on Elon Musk I wanted to play. Then I ran across another short which had Muhammad Ali, and I'm gonna play. So before I play these things, I want to say fair use, give a fair use warning. So I'm gonna play these, then I'm gonna get into a couple precepts, then I'm gonna end it there.
We'll go to Mars.
70%.
This could be an
Let's start
escape
it over.
hatch for rich people.
Bam.
This is a 47. What is the likelihood that you personally will go to Mars?
70%.
This could be an escape hatch for rich people.
No, your probability of dying on Mars is much higher than Earth. Really, the app of going to Mars would be like Shackleton's app of going to the Antarctic. It's going to be hard. There's a good chance of death. Going in a little can through deep space. You might land successfully. Once you land successfully, there will be a mat. You'll be working non-stop to build the base. So not much time for leisure. And once you get there, even after doing all this, there's a very harsh environment, so there's a good chance you die there. We think you can come back, but we're not sure. Now, does that sound like an escape hatch for rich people?
And yet you would unhesitatingly go.
You know, there's lots of people that climb mountains. You know why they climb mountains? Because people die on Mount Everest all the time. They like doing it for the challenge.
You're 47.
All right. Let's stop that. So he says that the likelihood of him going to Mars, and right now he's at age 47. So the likelihood of him going to Mars is a 70% chance, in which these people never even went to the moon. So how are they gonna go to Mars? And even that whole moon landing thing has already been proved to be a hoax, and the government even admits it, but they'll keep furthering that lie that they actually did go to the moon. All right, and people should know who Elon Musk is by this time. He's setting up this whole space thing called SpaceX. You know, where they go into. They're launching this whole internet around the world, putting up these satellites called Starlink systems. You know, but the pride of these people to say that they're going to go to Mars and it's a 70% chance when there is a bounds. Let's get that. It's in Job somewhere. I believe it's in the 5th chapter. I'm not sure. The Lord set bounds. That he cannot. No. Let's look up Job. All right, Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So even, according to our age, there's a certain limit that we could go in our body until it starts decaying and we actually go back to the spiritual realm. Likewise, it is with the earth, the same thing. Okay, there's a boundary to where people can go and people cannot go. And the Lord set up something called the Van Allen belt, which is the outside atmosphere of the earth. Okay, so they might could go into the lower atmosphere or the upper atmosphere, but then there's a boundary into where their crafts cannot reach anymore. So let's get this. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 51. See, it's Jeremiah chapter 51. Let's go to verse 53. Though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith the Lord. So how is Babylon mounting up to heaven? Not only through pride in this heavenly realm, is also a realm of rulership, a realm of prestige. But on the flip side, literally, they're trying to mount up to heaven, because when we're talking about heaven, we're talking about the upper atmosphere, okay? So they're going to through the atmosphere, or trying to go past the limits of the atmosphere by their international space stations, their aviations, their planes, whatever the case be. And just like how we seen on the video, Elon Musk is talking about he's going to Mars, and it's a 70% chance that he's going to do it before he dies. Let's read it again. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 53. Though Babylon shall mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength. And how do they fortify the height of their strength? Just like I guess the person that was interviewing him said, this is going to be an escape hatch for the elite. And he said, well, no, really this is going to be something real rigorous. But truly, that's what they plan to do. They want to set up a colony on Mars. We've seen certain movies about it. If anyone of you are familiar with that Eddie Murphy movie, where they go to Mars and they set up life, and then they got all of the alien robots. I forgot. They have aliens and robots on it. I forget what movie that is. Let's look up the Eddie Murphy movie. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy. I believe it's called Eddie Murphy Movies. I just seen that movie probably like a couple months ago too. Let's look at Eddie Murphy Movies. Oh yeah, Pluto Nash. Pluto Nash. There you go. Let's look up Pluto Nash. This wasn't really supposed to be about Pluto Nash, but I'm not gonna look that up. But if any of you brothers and sisters, whoever sees this video, if you remember that movie Pluto Nash, it shows you how they're trying to set up life on Mars. Certain other movies go into that same topic. So this is really something that they're trying to get accomplished. But the Lord said, just as we read Jeremiah the 51st chapter, the Lord is going to bring them down. He's going to send spoilers amongst Babylon. And where is Babylon? Babylon is right here in America, okay? So the Babylonian system is all over the world through this beast system. But when we're talking about the actual physical Babylon, it's right here in the United States of America. Let's go to Jeremiah the 16th chapter. I'm going to have to find a new way to get everything set up from right here. Jeremiah 16. Jeremiah 16, KJV. Let's go to the 14th verse. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. So who are these children of Israel, and what is the north? Because everybody knows, should know by now about the Exodus story of Moses and the Exodus of the children of Israel out of under the hands of their oppressor, the Egyptians, Pharaoh and the Egyptians. Well, guess what? That's going to this new Exodus is going to be remembered. And what is this children of the north? Let's read it again. Verse 15, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. That's right here in North America, where all of the tribes are represented. All of the 12 tribes of Israel are represented throughout the demographics that's written on the censuses, whether they look so-called, whether they are labeled so-called white, whether they are labeled so-called black or Negro or Hispanic, whatever the case be. Yahweh Shem Yahushai has his people, in which is definitely the bloodline of Israelite, okay, through that lineage set up all throughout America. So all of the 12 tribes are represented in one shape, way, or form. Verse 16, but I will send for many fishers, and here's the meat right here. This is where I wanted to get to. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rock, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. Okay? And we're talking about, this is talking about their deep military, their deep underground military bases, their military bases that's set up in the, on mountaintops, underneath, underneath oceans and whatever the case be, wherever they're set up. But this in fact, what Elon was talking about, he wants to set up another facility on Mars. Now let's go to Obadiah, the 1st chapter. But the Lord is going to disappoint. He's going to disappoint all of their this whole New World Order agenda that they're trying to set up. Let's go to Obadiah. Verse 3, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Okay, and why are they dwelling in the cleft of the rock? Because this is an exhortation about the punishment of Edom, okay? And Elon Musk is an Edomite. An Edomite is a so-called white person, okay? The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars. So Elon wants to set his nest amongst the stars, and he wants to go further than the space station. He wants to go to a whole nother planet. He wants to go to a whole nother realm and set up and colonize over there. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Okay, so these people thinking that they're going to just like the Lord told his people, in my Father's house are many mansions. Okay, so that's promised to Israelites, the elect of Israel. So these people are trying to get their blessing here on earth, but their blessing was not the kingdom of heaven. But they're trying to accomplish that through their technology. They're trying to make their heaven here on earth and even have dominion over the stars and whatever the case be. Okay, but they're not going to get that because that wasn't part of the deal for them. They had a rulership that had an end. They were promised a rulership that had a definitive end. And Jacob was promised a rulership that had no ending at all. I forget that something came to mind. World without end. Okay, so this is Isaiah the 45th chapter, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So when the Lord comes and sets his people back up, okay, to be the head over the earth, that's going to be a world without end. But as we read in Obadiah, that they're going to be brought down. Okay, so all of this going to Mars, setting all of this up, you might get a few things accomplished, but going to Mars, I doubt. We'll see. But no matter where you go, the Lord said he's going to bring you down. You know, and a lot of these things that they set up are counterfeit, just as that moon landing was counterfeit. You know, that they do that with their computer graphic imaging, whatever the case be, make you thinking that those little robots and drones actually do go to Mars. Come on now. How can you navigate to Mars? I know they have a astrologer set up and everything like that. But that brings me to another let's go to Isaiah 19. Been bringing this one out, but this is what they do. This is what they do. Verse 1, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be removed at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Okay, so what is Elon Musk can be considered a wizard? You know, in this whole Starlink satellite system that he's setting up around the world, he's setting that up so they can summon these familiar spirits, in which these familiar spirits are just demons. Okay. Had another video wanted to look up.
70%.
Hold on. Here was a good one.
Yeah. Many white people who mean right and in heart want to do right, but there's so few. If 10,000 rattlesnakes was coming down that aisle now, and I had a door here I could shut, and in that 10,000, 1,000 meant right. 1,000 rattlesnakes didn't want to bite me. I knew they were good. Should I let all these rattlesnakes come down, hoping that 1,000 get together and form a shield, or should I just close the door and stay safe? I think that you understand. The Viet Cong are not all bad, but America's still dropping bombs. In Hiroshima, Japan wasn't bad, but she still dropped the bomb. In Korea, they weren't bad, but they still dropped the bomb. So now I'm going to forget the 400 years of lynching and killing and raping and depriving my people of freedom, justice, equality, the first fired, last hired, the lowest of low, last respected. And I'm going to look at 2 or 3 white people who are trying to do right and don't see the other million trying to kill me. I'm not that big of a fool. And I'm not going to...
See, and this is the former boxer Muhammad Ali. He had passed away. Okay, if you're not familiar with Muhammad Ali, go look him up. But he was giving you some game, and this is when our people were actually aware that we had enemies. Now, a lot of our people still know that the so-called white man and these other nations and races of people are our enemies, but you know, through a lot of they thinking because we don't live in the age of full out oppression and segregation that we don't have enemies anymore. Okay? So, but he gave it to you, man. Just shut the door on these people, man. I know you gotta use the world, but not abuse it, okay? And not every so-called person that looks white is an Edomite, and not everybody that so-called looks dark-skinned is a Jake, okay? But you have to discern through the spirit who you are dealing with, okay? And just like he said, just because you see 2 or 3 people, that's even in the scriptures. Let's actually get it. Just because you see a few people, that don't mean you supposed to take your eye off the other million that's trying to kill you. And why do I bring that up? Because this is what Elon is trying to do. Now he gives you, he's put as a public figure of what innovation can do, whatever the case be, how much you can achieve through innovation, but at the same time, he's setting up this Neuralink, he's setting up this whole Neuralink chip to go along with the prophecy of the mark of the beast, okay, which, is really a prophecy through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, but at the same time, this is what this whole beast system is trying to push, so that's the powers that's on top of him, because people, oh yeah, Elon is a billionaire, he a boss. Okay, he's just as much boss as Dr. Dre. Okay, they're all puppets and being utilized by their higher powers. Okay, these Rothschilds, these Rockefellers, and he might be part of their family. Their cousins through 2 times removed, 3 times removed. You know how, that used to be the term. It'd be like your second, third, fourth cousin, okay, through marriage, whatever the case be, he's still taking orders and getting pimped out. Just like Dr. Dre and all of them other and all of them other entertainers that have to sell their soul just to make it make it into these prominent positions within these institutions that they have set up. So whenever you see presidents, CEOs of these corporations, these big moguls, okay, they've gotten in bed with the beast. They've made some sort of deal with the devil himself. Okay, and we know the devil to be the so-called the devil has Satan has a counterpart on this earth, okay, that are called the wicked, and that's the so-called Edomite. Not the so-called Edomite, but the Edomite, the so-called white man. Let's go back to this.
People who mean right and then.
Oh, you got
CJ.
In fact, I don't even own a home right now. I'm literally staying at friends' places. If I travel to the Bay Area, where most of Tesla engineering is, I basically rotate through friends' spare bedrooms. I don't have a yacht. I really don't take vacations. It's not as though there's that my personal consumption is high. The one exception is a plane. But if I don't use the plane, then I have less hours to work.
Where do you sleep tonight?
Tonight's in the factory.
In the factory? Not in a
Well,
hotel.
technically a conference room in the factory, but yeah.
Alone or?
Yeah, I assume so. In fact, I don't even own a home right now. I'm literally staying.
Man, they pimping this guy out, okay? He's forced to work so many hours, and that's the spirit of innovation, but at the same time, that's a demonic spirit, and that's actually just like you see these musicians, they be 60 and 70 and they still be trying to go on tour. No, it's not them that wants to go on tour. It's the powers that be that keep pimping them out to make them money. So they're forced to do that. Once they sign that contract, it's till death. So they have to keep working. And right now, to get all of this mark of the beast, microchip implant set up whatever the case be, this Neuralink, he got to go into overdrive, and whatever other thing agendas these damn devils got planned out, they have him. They're using him as a vital part of to try to do what they need to do, for lack of better words, to try to push their narrative or whatever the case. But they're using him as as an instrument, a straight up tool. Okay, and just like that, just like he said, man, I gotta sleep in the Tesla plant tonight. Man, I don't own a home. I just gotta call up another one of my billionaire friends and use one of his spare bedrooms. And you know damn well one of their spare bedrooms probably bigger than a lot of people's houses. Okay, a lot of people's apartments, whatever the case be. You know, but you just gotta be discern these people. You have to be aware.
At friends' places, if I travel to the Bay Area, where most of Tesla engineering is, I basically rotate through friends' spare bedrooms. I don't have a yacht. I really don't take vacations.
And you gotta watch who you work for, man, because people will try to rule over you. People will try to rule over you with rigor, and then you'll become a slave. And you don't want to do that. So we want to stay focused on our power, Yahweh. Okay, and Yahweh Shai doing this work, studying, reading, doing right by our people. Okay? And you do want to take care of your family, whatever the case be. But watch out when you signing contracts. Okay? That's what I got to say. So with that being said, till the next time, Shalom, Kal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.